Happy Valentine's Day. Now, the way I celebrate Valentine's Day is by sharing my dating life, or rather, lack of. So, I am 24 years old and I have never been in a relationship, like a serious relationship. And I haven't gone on a date since forever, since many years. And basically, I have never felt loved by a woman. Now, how do I feel about all of this? Do I feel sad? Do I feel lonely? Do I feel misunderstood? Do I feel left out, unloved, or anything? Well, actually, the word that best describes how I feel about all of this is stupid. Like, I feel like an idiot. And that's because when I was in high school, I thought that I was the attractive one. I thought that I was the one that girls secretly fantasized about dating. And in all of my, male groups, I thought I was the one that would get into relationships, that would smash women, that would be basically like a heartthrob for women, like the Casanova. I always pictured myself as like the Casanova, the ladies' man in all my friend groups. But then it turns out that all the other friends in my friend group, all the other men that I did not think were as attractive as me, they somehow got into relationships. They had sex, they had exes, but I kept getting rejected and ghosted by every single girl that I was interested in, and to this very day I am 24 years old and I have never felt loved by a woman, and it's so fucking embarrassing because I thought I was the attractive one. Like, imagine the attractive one not never being in a relationship. Not by choice, by the way. But to be more specific, everything basically started out like when I had a crush on this girl in middle and high school, and when I then confessed my feelings to her and she rejected me, I was like, but how can she reject me? I am so attractive. I am this guy that girls fantasize about. And so I kept bothering her. I was like, why do you not feel, why are you not feeling anything for me? How can you not love me? I am so attractive. I am so charismatic and everything. And that bothered her, and eventually, my PE teacher, who happened to also be like an adult counselor, he then told me that I had to leave this girl alone because she was bothered by how I treated her. And that I should stop asking why she doesn't like me. And so I instead asked the psychologists that I had at that time, because I had OCD as an autistic, and so I was going to cognitive behavioral therapy. And when I asked to those psychologists, how can this girl not love me? Those psychologists were like, don't take it personally. You just were not the right one for her, but there's someone else out there for you. And I was foolish back then, so I listened to what the psychologists told me, and I was like, that's right, there is someone out there for you. Translation in my head. There is someone out there that will understand how attractive and amazing I am. This girl that rejected me, she was blind and stupid for not realizing how attractive I was. But then, I kept being rejected and ghosted and flaked on by every single girl that I showed interest in. Meanwhile, all my peers would get into relationships. Granted, some of those relationships did not last eventually, but they were still able to attract the opposite gender, meanwhile I wasn't. And those psychologists just told me, oh, it's because you haven't found the right one. And it did not make sense to me. Why was I not constantly not finding the right one? Meanwhile, my peers were able to find maybe not like the right one that they would grow old together, but they were able to find someone that basically was attracted to them, that wanted to at least go on that first date with them. Meanwhile, I just kept getting ghosted and rejected by every single girl. Why could I never find the right one? It did not make sense to me. And I thought, wouldn't it be more logical if it's that those other people that are able to attract the opposite gender, meanwhile I cannot? Is it possible that they are perhaps more attractive than me, and that is why they can attract more people than I can? But the psychologists, they are so stupid, blue-pilled, and they are such pussies. They were like, no, you are not unattractive, you are attractive, you just haven't found the right person. But why does every other person find someone who is attracted to them? Meanwhile, I keep getting ghosted and rejected and flaked on by every single girl. It doesn't make sense. It did not make sense. Until eventually I started this YouTube channel, and then I got into like this self-improvement community, and there I met a bunch of other young men who were on self-improvement and trying to become their best versions of themselves. And those were the people that told me exactly what I needed to hear from the very beginning. You are not attractive. And I then eventually got instructed that if I want to become attractive, I need to, for example, dye my eyebrows, and I need to change my hair. And so this is what I have done. Like, compared to my previous pictures, you can see that I have kind of ascended a little bit. I have darkened my eyebrows, I have gotten a haircut, I have shaved my neck beard. And so right now I am like working on myself. Like right now I am putting myself out there and going to events to meet new people so that I can meet like the right girl that I can create a relationship with. But while I am looking for the right woman, I am also focusing on becoming the right man. Because it makes sense, doesn't it? Like, if I want a 10 out of 10 woman, then I have to be a 10 out of 10 man myself. And so, meanwhile I am looking for like a 10 out of 10 soulmate, I have to be a 10 out of 10 counterpart to that 10 out of 10 soulmate. And that is why I am working on myself right now to become that 10 out of 10 soulmate. I am working on myself externally with looks maxing, but also I'm working on myself internally. Like, I think I have good personality, I'm still funny and entertaining, but I'm currently working on presenting it in like a more attractive way. I'm working on my body language, because something that I have realized is that when it comes to like men attracting girls, one of the arguably the most important factor is your body language. It is more important than like your looks or personality. So right now I have to work on my body language. And because I have autism, I have to explicitly learn how to display like the proper body language. Meanwhile, neurotypicals, they just have to like show up and they observe other people and they just learn body language automatically. Meanwhile, I have to learn explicitly, like what do I do with my eyes when I talk, what do I do with my hands when I talk, what do I do with like the rest of my body, what do I do with my hair, and all that. And so I'm working on that, but also I'm working on a purpose in my life, because I know that women are not attracted to men who are desperate and needy. And I have been desperate and needy for most of my life. But the reason why I was desperate and needy was because I needed to prove to the world that I am indeed attractive, and that the girl that rejected me in high school was wrong for rejecting such a catch. And so I was desperate and felt the need. I needed validation from pretty girls so that I could prove to everyone that I was attractive. And because of that, I was, as a result, desperate and needy. So what did I have to do to stop being desperate and needy? Well, I had to make a very big decision in my life. I had to reach out to the girls that rejected me in high school and apologize to her for how I had treated her, and I needed to have the humility within myself to admit that yes, I was stupid for thinking that I was attractive when in reality I was not attractive, and so now I have to work on myself so that I can become attractive. And like I said, I am going to events so that I can meet girls that can become my potential romantic partners. But I am not desperate at the moment. I have found a purpose in my life that I can get fulfillment from, so that I don't need to crave that fulfillment from external validation from pretty girls. And so my purpose right now, which is not related to chasing girls, my purpose is this channel and the course, which you can find in the description, where I help men who have been in a similar situation like me. Young men who have autism and who are insecure about their autism, and in general kind of deep down insecure about their weaknesses and stuff. I teach them how they can accomplish the things that I have accomplished so far. Like I said, I still have to work on certain things within myself, such as body language, but I have managed to stop being desperate by apologizing to that girl. And so that is what I teach out right now with this channel and my course. This is a mission to help young autistic men. So I am doing something really great in this world. I am helping other people, and that feels so fulfilling, man. But what I basically realized is, fuck psychologists. I hate psychologists. They ruined my life and they did not work for me. The reason why this girl rejected me was not because she wasn't the right one for me. It's because I was a fucking neckbeard who put her on a pedestal and who had an awkward body language and who was desperate. I wish that those psychologists could have just told me that. But instead they were like, no, don't take it personally. You just weren't the right one, but there's someone out there for you. But then it doesn't make sense why other people were able to attract multiple romantic partners while I could not really attract anyone. Logically, they are more attractive than me. And so I needed a drill sergeant that could yell at my face, "Hey, you are not attractive! If you want to be attractive, you have to do this, and that, and then you will become attractive." And that is what I got in this self-improvement community from other young men. And that is what I'm trying to provide to you right now with this channel. But psychologists, they were such pussies. They never told me this. They just told me, keep being yourself, there's someone out there for you. And it's no, you have to be told you are not attractive. You are stupid for thinking you are attractive. Yes, you are stupid. But that's okay. You don't have to let that define you. You can change who you are and become attractive. And like, if someone told me that, like in high school, yes, they would have hurt my feelings. Yes, they would have hurt my ego. But guess what? Current me would have thanked them. Because they would not have wasted my time and given me false hope. They would tell me, they would give me like a realistic image of myself, where I am at, and that, for example, I have to work on myself before I can be considered attractive. And so that is what I am trying to achieve with this channel. That is the kind of help, the like drill sergeant energy that I try to give out to you, because we as autistic men, and just men in general, we men, we don't really function well with like a therapist that just tells us, hey, you are okay the way you are, because that makes us narcissistic. It makes us think, oh yeah, that girl was stupid for rejecting me. Meanwhile, we have a fucking neck beard. So like, psychologists and even some therapists, like whatever, they don't work for us. What we need is like that high testosterone man who is like a drill sergeant that yells in our face. And this is why Hamza became so popular, because he was exactly what like young men needed. He was the kind of man that was like, you're not that attractive, you stupid mentally challenged idiot. Like, he was literally swearing on camera. He was insulting you. He was bullying you. He even said that as a man you need to be punched in the face, which maybe is a little bit of an exaggeration, but maybe not. Like, you get the point. We kind of need to be like almost pushed as men. We cannot have that like lovey-dovey energy. Oh, you are okay the way you are. That's like, it hasn't really worked for me. And so that is why Hamza is so good. But the problem with Hamza is that like his content on YouTube is mainly targeted towards neurotypical men. And so I want to make my content more for autistic and neurodivergent men. And so that is my mission right now, to help young men who are insecure about their autism. And so if you want more content like this, if you are an insecure young man with autism that needs help, then like and subscribe for more content like this, and check out my course, which is in the description. And I will see you next time!